Are you looking for the best TV for gaming? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best gaming TVs on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. LG 65-inch Class OLED EVO G4 Series Smart TV. LG's Gallery Series televisions have always represented the best LG has to offer, and that remains the case with the G4. It's not only the best OLED I've tested, but it also represents the best overall package, specifications, price, and performance of any television in 2025. The LG G4 is as close to perfect as a TV can be in 2025 and is an example of what OLED can do at its best, combining infinite contrast, excellent color reproduction, and fantastic brightness in one elegant, super slim display. There was a fear that the development of Samsung's QD-OLED technology would leave OLED TVs like LG's in the dust, but LG successfully pushed its technology in response, and its brightness and color accuracy now rival what Samsung has produced, while packaging it in a more approachable television that gives you more control over how you want your content to look. While other OLED brands have oversimplified the user interface, LG believes in its users and gives them plenty of control over color, saturation, and contrast. Thanks to its boosted brightness, the G4 can excel in pretty much any environment. With outstanding color, infinite contrast, great HDR support, and outstanding gaming performance, it's the best TV on the market in 2025 for gaming and quite honestly anything else. Number 2. Sony QD-OLED 65-inch BRAVIA XR A95L Series 4K Ultra HD TV. Speaking of QD-OLED, Samsung didn't keep that technology to itself, licensing it to Sony to produce the A95L. Outside of an updated processor, not a lot has changed between Sony's most recent OLED model compared to the A95K I reviewed a few years ago, since the panel itself hasn't needed updating since it debuted. And what a panel it is! While LG's G4 is overall the best television for gaming given its price-to-performance ratio, if price doesn't matter to you and you only care about the best possible picture quality across the most use cases, then Sony's QD-OLED televisions are the best there is. Samsung's implementation of its QD-OLED is good, but the company does a poor job with giving users any control over how the picture looks, and the result is an oversaturated, overly contrasty picture that can look too strong. That, and Samsung has not entered into an agreement with Dolby to support Dolby Vision, meaning HDR support is seriously weaker than the competition. Sony dials that back down to reality and gives full HDR support, allowing it to take advantage of that excellent QD-OLED panel. Sony also has the best processing in the industry and is better able to deal with noise, artifacts, and pixelation that comes as the result of streaming. Even the best streaming signals have problems, and Sony's tech can't be beaten for smoothing that out and providing a picture with better tonality and cleaner sharpness. With best-in-class color accuracy, incredible brightness, and unlimited contrast, Sony's A95L is unbeatable if you can get past the high asking price. If your budget has no limit, then Sony is the way to go. Number 3. Sony BRAVIA 765-inch 4K Ultra HD QLED LCD Smart TV. If you like the sound of excellent processing but aren't a fan of OLED, then Sony's BRAVIA 7 is the answer. It offers very good brightness, excellent color, which is consistent across the panel, great HDR support, and top-tier processing to create the best overall LED television experience on the market. A benefit of Sony's most recent televisions, the BRAVIA 8 included, is the pairing of Sony Remote Play built-in. The BRAVIA 7 allows you to treat your TV like a giant PlayStation portal, wirelessly connecting with your PlayStation so you aren't blocked from your console if the TV it's connected to is in use. That makes the BRAVIA 7 a great second television either for the bedroom or office while your main television is tied up in the living room. Thanks to mini LED technology, the BRAVIA 7 attains very good contrast and brightness that is as close as you can come to OLED before jumping up a price tier, and Sony did a great job this year of keeping its high-end LED approachable in price, which is in contrast to Samsung's strategy. That means that Sony-level picture quality and processing are more easily attainable to more people, and it gives brands like TCL and Hisense more competition to keep pushing the envelope, which they have done. Sony's BRAVIA 7 does an excellent job of being a television that gets a lot right and doesn't overly charge for it, which feels like a shift for the company. As I noted in my review, the color accuracy it is capable of hitting and its consistency across the entire panel is hard to beat, and while it doesn't get quite as bright as some of its competitors, it's got enough juice to overcome reasonably well-lit rooms and does so without sacrificing picture quality. As a result, the Sony BRAVIA 7 is the company's most compelling mini-LED television in years and the best high-end model on the market. Number 4. Hisense U8 Series 65 U8 and 65-inch ULED 4K Smart TV. Hisense has really come into its own in the last couple of years, and the U8 represents the cumulative knowledge it has learned over that time. Hisense was the first mini-LED maker to push brightness to new heights, and the U8N is easily the brightest television I tested this year with the ability to push out 2000 nits of brightness. Everything else about the U8N comes in just slightly under what Sony has been able to achieve. Color accuracy, contrast, off-angle viewing, and overall performance of the operating system fall just slightly below the Sony BRAVIA 7, but the trade-off is more brightness and a lower asking price. But compare it to the Samsung QN90D, a television that costs nearly twice as much as the U8N, and you'll find that it gets brighter, has more customization options, and provides wider HDR format support. The Hisense U8N isn't going to win in a blow-for-blow fight against Sony and Samsung, but it still exists as a very compelling option for game rooms or brightly lit living rooms, especially given its lower asking price. It sports fantastic gaming performance, great color accuracy, and spectacular brightness along with a redesigned frame that looks less like a discount TV and more like the high-end options it competes against. Number 5. TCL 65-inch QM7 QLED 4K Smart QD Mini LED TV. TCL's QM7 is the king of value. As I found in my review, it offers outstanding color accuracy, good contrast, good brightness, and has a processor that is fast enough to make browsing the operating system feel quick and snappy. At $600 for a 65-inch set, you probably aren't expecting a lot, so the QM7 kind of sneaks up on you with how much it does right. It offers a solid 1500 nits of peak brightness, separated its pair of 4K 144Hz ports from its eARC port, so you can actually use all three simultaneously, comes packed with one of the better gaming menus, and comes with support for all the most used HDR formats. It even sounds pretty darn good out of the box thanks to an Onkyo 2.1 sound system which includes a subwoofer built into the rear of the panel. The Achilles heel of the QM7 is off-axis viewing, though. While contrast loss isn't huge, bright objects set against dark backgrounds will exhibit a rather large halo effect, and that is most visible when watching this TV from the side. The QM7 does a lot right, avoiding the expected norms of conceding some performance in order to arrive at that lower asking price and instead providing a television that just does everything pretty darn well.